Okay, now we're really going to put your ability to read dimensions and interpret drawings to the test. Start off with a new part. Create a 2D sketch. And on the plane, we need to start sketching lots of different things. I'm going to start off with the very middle of this. I know there's going to be some kind of a rectangle here. It also looks like coming out the side is another bigger rectangle, and coming off of this is a smaller one. Then we have some funny things happening. So I'm going to switch over to line, because now, well, see my little guideline here? I want this to stay the same all the way out to an endpoint. I come up at a 90-degree angle, down a little bit, but instead of it going straight across like you would think, it goes up at a slight angle. Okay, now that we have half of the basic shape kind of plotted out, let's trim off the stuff we don't need. Inventor's smart enough to treat this as one big shape. And we can start to add on some dimensions. So click on dimension, and we want to dimension first the distance between these 2 points is 0.88. It really doesn't matter what you do first, but I like to get the overall dimensions. It looks like from this point down to the other sides. Now this is being a little confusing on us. Let's just get all of our width dimensions in here first. This is supposed to be 0.5. From our datum, which is a common edge point, common endpoint, to the next point. Oh, you know what? We left something out. I'm going to switch back over to rectangle. There is another little bit here that I didn't see before. So let's trim that off. And the next dimension is actually going to this part. This is 0.25 away. And then it changed the dimensions instead of using a datum. And it says from that flat point to this flat point is 0.19. This is 0.07. And going from this end to this point, which would be easy enough to measure if you had this physical part, is another 0.05. Okay. This whole length says is 0.33. And then we get to play with diameters. Alright, well, we don't want diameters, we want the radius. So it gives us that from here to the other side of this, if it was mirrored, which we're not going to mirror it, is a diameter of 0.19. We want half of that. So 0.19 divided by 2 is 0.095. And already it's messed up some of my stuff. So now I can go back to my geometric constraints, straighten that back out. So now it's a horizontal line. Back to dimension again. From this point to here, the diameter of it would be 0.25. The radius is 0.125, or 0.25 divided by 2. To this point, it's supposed to be a diameter of 0.3. Half of that is 0.15. The entire diameter is 0.4, which is half of that is 0.2. And now to get the other side of things, it says from here to here is 0.19. The height of this piece is 0.25 divided by 2. We already said is 0.125. let me make sure. I'm going to click dimension again. I want to dimension this part because it's not treating that all as one line because of the way that we drew it. It's 0.29 divided by 2. And that comes out to 0.145. Looks like I have a stray line in here, so I'm going to go back to trim and just kind of get rid of it. Okay, and there's also an angle here. Switch back to dimension. You know what, but it's not treating it like an angle. It's going from point to point. And this is 0.01. And I wish they would have given what this point is. But looking at the sketch, I'm going to assume this is in line with this. So I'm going to make a horizontal constraint from this point to this corner. And now that still keeps it at a nice angle for us. When I count up the dimensions on the paper versus the dimensions on the screen, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 on the paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 on our screen. So we're doing well. And the only note that it has on it is to sketch half of the sketch and revolve it 360. So we're going to finish this. Revolve. We want the axis to be this piece here. Click the check or click OK or hit enter, and we are almost done. It says there's a small cut here, so I'm going to make a sketch on this face, and I'm just going to kind of haphazardly draw a rectangle in here. I want to make sure that I make the center point of this rectangle and the center point of this circle match up vertically. That way it's going to take off the same amount from either side. I'm going to drag this rectangle all the way through the part, and it looks like the width of this gap is 0.04. And if I extrude cut this, it is going to go back, according to the drawing, a distance of 0.2. Click OK. And there you have it.